to act like that with me.
How long am I supposed to wait for you to figure out that I don't think I've done anything wrong at all?
I've seen you at this point initiate conversation with girls, and it's way—
Hey guys, and welcome back to Little Black Book. You know what time it is. We're going to talk to you guys about Married at First Sight. We're talking about Katie and Derek. Quite the interesting situation. Hey, if you're new to the channel, make sure you like, share, subscribe, click on that bell button for a notification of the what? Uploads, baby. And for those of you who are returnees, baby, you ain't got the minerals. You ain't got the minerals. Yeah. Alright, so let's get into the video. I actually lost my notes, it's mad. But the Katie and Derek situation, oh my freaking word. There was so much going on, I don't know where to start. So let's start with obviously Katie talking to Jessica at the table, alright? Now, Katie was glued to her chair, alright, when she was talking to Jessica. And I think it was quite interesting, Jessica's response in terms of her facial expressions towards Katie.
the guy, but there's just not a whole lot of like passion really. And I'm hoping that the more time we give it, it'll like be there.
I think a lot of people think Katie moans too much, and I think a lot of people think that Katie's just doing too much, right? But they're not gonna say it. Cool. So Katie and Jessica have a discussion, and Katie alludes to the fact that he doesn't initiate anything. He doesn't initiate anything, etc., etc. Which then Jessica then finds the nugget inside of what she was actually saying and asking, and says, "Are you talking about physical intimacy?" And Katie denies vehemently, no, she's not talking about physical intimacy, but she's talking about everything else, right? And so that's how we start the conversation off. And it's funny, interesting, because obviously I know that Jessica had her back towards the door and she didn't have anything to concern with, but Katie kept on looking over her shoulder to see if anyone was coming, because of what she was discussing was obviously potentially could be painful if you walked in at the wrong time of hearing that discussion. So there was a little bit of fear on her side in terms of discussing the issues she was discussing, right? And so that was the gist of their particular conversation. She was basically saying that she's not sure about Derek at the moment. She's not sure about Derek in this season. And I just wanted to say, everything that happened, I done told you already about Katie. This is, when people are asking me to keep on slating Katie over Mecca, I'm like, listen, the reason why I'm talking about Mecca's tone is because the tone is wrong. It's simple as that. I talk about Katie and I said about the fact that this was never going to work from the beginning, because if you've not finished your relationship with the other person, you've still got feelings for the other person, that is going to creep into your new relationship. You're not going to feel secure in your new relationship because you know in your head that if you can come into a marriage, yeah, with somebody still feeling you, you are not going to feel secure in this particular relationship because they can do the same to you. The same way you're a liar and you come into a relationship, you think that they can lie to you because you know you can do it. And if you can think it, they can do it too. And so that makes you insecure. And we're seeing this insecurity really raise its ugly head. In fact, before they even had this conversation at the house, Katie and Derek had their conversation in the car. A major conversation where it was interesting because she was making these faces as Derek was... not even making faces, I should say this. When Katie was addressing Derek, I noticed that she struggled to have any eye contact. Bearing in mind, she's the one that's driving. She's the one that's not driving.
You know?
100%. You're a freaking catch, girl.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
He was driving. And what you see from Derek is whenever he's beginning to talk, he starts off first by looking at her as he's talking and then back onto the road. This shows a good connection. This shows the need for eye contact to show that I'm paying attention to what you're saying. But she doesn't do the same thing. One, because it's a difficult conversation. But two, I think also as well, I think there's a fear there of her actually addressing Derek in a way that is not belittling. Do you know what I mean? And I feel like that's the energy she brings to the table every single time she addresses the issue, you know? And so later on we see that when they're talking, she barely kind of, I mean, there was a few faces that she made, and then at one point she's sitting there, and the next minute she got a hand on the handrail to feel comfortable, you know, and there was a comment that was made obviously about the fact that they were talking, and you know, she said, yeah, I feel good, you know, I feel good that you said what you said, because he's basically said obviously, you know, he appreciates her, likes her, and she felt good about it, right? And so what we see from Katie is that she needs a constant reassurance. There's always need for a constant reassurance from Katie's side, and that is not because of a past, not necessarily because of past damages or anything like that. It's because there's still activity in her mind in terms of whether she made the right choice or not. Yeah? You decided to take a risk. That was a wrong decision. You can't decide to take a risk on a marriage. Wrong decision. When you came into this relationship, you should have come into it clean. But now, I'll keep saying this, we act out of wounds. When we've got a wound or a cut and someone presses it, we act out of it. Or pressure of life presses it, we act out. And what we're seeing from Katie is acting out. And we're going to see this predominantly at the table between Taylor, Derek, and Mecca, Jessica, and Katie. How is it that Katie makes certain face, like, this is disgraceful for me, but it's a type of behavior that I've seen in people when they want control and they want power, and it comes from a place of insecurity and fear, and then you try to cripple the person into doing what you want them to do, and being a certain way because you feel like you don't have control over the situation. So Derek is sitting on the table, yeah? Oh, even before that, sorry, he comes to sit down and he sits opposite Katie.
Put this on the side. You mind if I sit next to you?
No problem. He's sitting by you instead of me. That's gonna be a no.
This is not a big deal, you know. Now I know that what do you call it? What's his name? Austin came and sat beside Jessica. We know that already. Like, that's not a problem. But Derek came and sat opposite you. Yeah, I think that's even better, so I can actually look at your face and talk to you. You understand? Now, I've always said this about Katie and Derek. Katie treats Derek like a little boy, and she sees him like a little boy. Yeah, and then that belittling attitude comes into the way she addresses him, into the way she doesn't make him feel comfortable. Listen, the boy's not comfortable. The boy is not comfortable being himself. That's the problem. The moment you are not able to be your full 100 self as that individual person that you're dating, that's not the person for you, more than likely. Because you are going to always have to hold back something. You know, you like to be a bit of a jokester, you like to be a bit of a prankster, yeah, and the person says, I bet you grow up, then maybe that ain't the right person for you. You know what I mean? If that person's always trying to curb your behavior, maybe that ain't the right person for you. Do you understand? Because from the day that I said this, when she was doing it, you know, she said it at the comment on Panama where she said, oh, you know, he's like a bigger, nerdier guy. It's the tone that she used. I said, Then she spoke to her mum about it. He needs to grow up. He's fighting. I said, you know, we're going to see her talk to her dad later on. You know, we're now seeing that behavior now come into play in front of people. Look, the reason why Derek was able to be comfortable with Taylor and Mecca is 1, they make him feel comfortable. 2, they make him feel like a king. That's all. 3, they're not going to date him. This is the thing. Taylor is not about to start dating him. But Taylor and Mecca made him feel comfortable, made him feel like he's funny, you know what I'm saying? Made him feel like, you know what, he actually has a place amongst their table and doesn't see him as a little boy. You understand? They just get along. Now this started before then, because when we go back before this, the moment that he wanted to make a drink for Taylor, the insecurity of Katie kicked in.
Okay. Derek, go ahead. You do it. I trust your bartending skills.
God, Derek's such a ladies' man.
It's gone.
Blood, you better calm the frick down, Katie. Why are you getting insecure about him making a drink for Taylor? It seemed like he was making drinks for everybody. So, and the drink wasn't even for Taylor in the end. It was for Mecca. So him and Taylor went to make drinks, and he came back, made a drink for Mecca. Now Katie's complaint is that he's not being real with her. He doesn't show that funny side of him, that loving side of him. And it's like, the reason why he doesn't show that side, not because he's fearful, it's because you don't give him the space to do it. The moment he does it, just like when you crush the dreams, I said, look, you cannot, someone brings their dreams to you and says, listen, these are my dreams, and you crush it. But you know what I'm saying? And you crush it. What do you expect? What do you expect? Are you expecting a welcome party? Are you expecting a person to be comfortable around you? Are you expecting a person to be free around you? They are no longer free. Do you know what I'm saying? They're no longer free. They're not going to be free. So, for me, that was interesting to see that. And I guess, obviously, then, scooting back to, you know, the table, she left 2 or 3 times. This is immature, it's petulant, it's such a childish behavior. But this is not the first time.
Such an ass.
Baby, I really, really like you.
Don't leave Katie. It's okay.
Katie's out. Katie's out.
No, Derek is great.
This is why I love this. That's why I love watching these shows over a period of time, because you can see the behavior is consistent. This is why I keep talking to you guys about Mecca. You don't think I'm going on Mecca, oh, she's just smart. And I'm not talking about that. Who you are is who you are. You're not going to change that. Do you know what I'm saying? There are situations that cause you to come out of pocket, but who you are is who you are. Do you know what I'm saying? Because when people are mean to me and being a dickhead, yes, I don't like it, and I can get into your face. Don't get it twisted. But my natural behavior, you will see it over a period of time. It's exactly the same. The way I dress you, the way I talk, exactly the same. Do you feel what I'm saying? So when I hear Mecca speak, sometimes I'm like, your tonality, it's like that through the whole season. That's how you are. Your tonality is a certain way. You understand? You're hard in a certain way. You're emotionally wide in a certain way. Not a beef. I'm just trying to get you to a point. Your next relationship, that's okay. We know Michael's a liar. Bam, bam, bam. Let's come back onto Katie though. Same thing with Katie. I said the same thing she did. When they were having a conversation in the house a few episodes back, right? And he was talking about his dreams. The conversation got to a point where he was just saying his point of view. And it got to a point where she stood up and walked off. All up in a hutching and flush. Yeah? And walked off into the bedroom. He got up, went to the bedroom and said, Katie, do you want to talk right now? She said, no, don't talk about it, blah, 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 blah. Shooting off the hip, right? Making all sorts of noises, yeah? But he followed her. Now, obviously, I think they're a bit drunk. You can tell they're a bit drunk. They've been waved. They've been drinking a lot. Katie gets up, walks to the bedroom. And what she's wanting is being a petulant child. She wants him to follow her again. She wants the attention on her again, yeah? She doesn't feel secure. Now, listen, there's also two sides of the story. In the sense of, I can understand sometimes you may not feel secure in a relationship because what the person does. But Derek is, listen, if that's what you call flirting, fam, I'm sorry, that ain't even good. That is not even basic level flirting, fam. Man was just dropping jokes, and because they were laughing, he dropped more jokes. Because they made him feel comfortable, he dropped more jokes. Who doesn't want to be made funny? Who doesn't want to be...
Derek loves all the other wives but me.
You know, life of the party, if they've got that kind of personality. It's not that they're flirting. There was no flirting. He didn't drop no bars to Taylor. Did he drop any bars to Mecca? Did he say how sexy they were, good looking they were? Did he say anything about their features? No. He was just making memes and funny jokes. That was it. And you've turned it into, now you want to make this guy an enemy. So you get up and leave. You're huffing and puffing, making faces that are just unbelievable. At one point, you got your head in your hands. It's like, Katie, what are you trying to do? And the whole point is that she's trying to wrestle back attention. And I told you this from the very beginning. If you go back to watch my earlier videos or reviews, I told you this. I said to you, I said, listen, what Katie is doing, she's going to cause this boy, he's not going to be a boy for long. This boy is not going to be a boy for long. Yeah? He's going to become a grown man. That innocence that you're seeing, he's going to come out of that innocence real quick. And he's going to come out of pocket. Yeah? And we're seeing that out of pocket now. Yeah? We're going to see it at the very end. It's cool. So eventually she goes to the bedroom and the girls follow her. Yeah? And then she's all up in tears and crying and stuff. Yeah? And obviously she explains that, he's flirting with Taylor basically. Right? And Mecca's like, what? Mecca's face will tell you everything to know, fam. Look, let me be real about Mecca. Something about what I love about Mecca. Straight mother freaking shooting blood. You ain't going to get no lies from Mecca. And you ain't going to get no sugars. You understand? You're going to get straight blood. And I rate that about Mecca. Fam, when it comes to the thing, like when she came to Taylor, she told her straight, listen, I'm your friend, but you're moving mad. And so when she said, obviously, when she showed her face about Derek flirting, she was confused. I knew straight away that, oh, okay, cool. That means now that Mecca also understands that she doesn't understand what Katie's even saying.
Flirt with other girls in front of me.
He's
You're not gonna
flirting.
flirt with me. The fact that I see him like being like really sweet and affectionate with other girls, it just makes me not feel special because I'm like, you don't do anything more than that.
So that let us know that Mecca wasn't down with the program, yeah. And obviously then she's complaining, saying that obviously it's one-sided. She's been dragging the relationship, etc., etc. And I'm like, the reason why you've been dragging the relationship is because you want a certain goal for the relationship, and he's not budging. You want to get rid of the dreams, yeah? You're trying to make this non-fun, yeah? Because you have your own idea of what relationship to be. And I understand because, again, everybody has their ideas and their ideal of what they want in a relationship. Yeah, I get it. I do understand that. And it can be scary having somebody who has different ideals to you. And what she sees as a relationship, yeah? She wants certain things in place for it to be a relationship. But the guy is earning good money. He's stable in his job. You know, he wants to accomplish some dreams. What more do you want from him? You want his unadulterated, unfiltered attention. That's selfish. You understand? He's got things he needs to do. Next you're going to say, listen, don't study. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, what do you want from the brother? You understand? Like, so I get it that she feels insecure. But the guy is just trying to work with you. Every single time he backs down, he tries to find your angle, he tries to live on your plane. But you're not living on his plane. This is why the argument's happening. She's taking. And you keep saying you want a man. You want someone to take control. Why do you need him? Why do you need him to be a certain kind of goon? Because what you're describing, you want a bad boy.
Good guy, but
So
that's
good.
it. That's it.
No, I think he is a teachable guy.
Yes.
I think he is
You
very...
try teaching him.
me go from here. You want a bad boy. And this is the poor articulation and the poor understanding of what you actually need. And I do feel sorry because a lot of women do have this kind of mindset. The poor articulation and the poor understanding of what you actually need. You don't need a bad boy. You need someone who's confident and who wants to take leadership, ownership. That's it. Somebody who's forward thinking, not a bad boy. You know what I'm saying? Yes, you want a bit of adventure. Yes, you want a bit of surprise. Yes, you want someone to throw something new into the mix. That's fine. You don't want a bad boy. Yeah, if you want a bad boy, you're the wrong freaking show, mate. They're screening him out. This is not the show to have a bad boy. And if you want a bad boy, I guess that's the kind of guy that you had last. Because he's the kind of guy that will force you into a point where even at a wedding day, he's still saying what you're saying. And you are still conversating. Are you mad? Are you nuts? What kind of nonsense is that? Do you know what I'm saying? And then press on to even before that. You know, when she makes a comment about you guys actually ruining my marriage, you're ruining my marriage on a table. Both Katie and, both Taylor and Mecca were like, whoa.
Out right now. It is ruining my marriage. Taylor and Derek are really just like being super friendly with each other.
Like, you're going too far. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, your joke is not a joke, bruv. And actually what you've done is that you made it very awkward between, Derek, Taylor, and Mecca. And Jessica, nobody was thinking because of your good news, these people they're not thinking about that, Jessica. I understand what you're saying. I feel you, but no one ain't thinking about that, Jessica. We're happy for you. Don't get it, we're happy for you. Like, don't worry about that. We're not thinking about you. We're thinking about the fact that this girl said this is what she said. You know? So that just shut down the whole game. So everybody was just like, what do we do now then? You know what I'm saying? Now I get it. Derek was more friendly with Taylor. But he's not going there. He's not going there. Yes, he may find her attractive. He's not going there though. You know, he was just bantering. You know what I'm saying? Because it was good banter, light banter, talking about jokes. And then obviously when she finally leaves the table again.
Rusa. I Rusa myself and I'm like, let me put my energy into it. So
Katie.
No.
She was child's behavior. She was waiting for him. She wanted him to come. So when he decided to actually get up this time and go, I wish he didn't because he just fed into her ego, but he had to. He got up and went. Got to the bedroom now, sat on the bed, yeah? And this is unacceptable. In a relationship, this is unacceptable behavior. This is derogative behavior. This is demeaning behavior. This is a dampener. This is disappointing. This is ugly. This ain't cute. You understand? When I see, yeah, that a person comes in, yeah, to have a discussion with you, you begin talking, and the person says, "Oh no, that's not how I saw it. I saw it as the fact that they've gone through rough times," and then you tell them, "Will you shut up and listen to me?"
Because they're going through a tough time.
Can I f***ing finish?
Well, okay, sure.
Did you want to know or did you not want to know? Did you come in here to talk or did you come in here to listen?
I want to know.
At that point, you've lost it, mate. At that point, you've lost the freaking marbles, mate. At that point, you've lost it. Because you don't understand that in a relationship, I'm not your punching bag. I'm nobody's punching bag. Whether you're angry about something else, whatever, I am not your punching bag. Find your decibel level, lower the tone, yeah? Talk to me like an adult. You're talking to me like a kid. That shut up is like you're talking to an absolute kid. Because of your ideology and your perception of me, yeah, of Derek, and you see him as a kid, that's why that came out. That's why that came out. And I said, you will continue and you'll see the ugly side of this boy.
Sex on their period, Derek, so that's really not an excuse.
Okay,
And that's
I'm not sorry I'm trying to initiate sex when you're on a period. The last time I tried making a move, you said no.
And so eventually we see this telling her to shut up. And I just thought to myself, absolutely horrendous. You know, and this guy's just, and he, do you know what? He parks himself. I rate that. He parked himself, said, do you know what? Frick it. I was going to say something, but I'm going to leave it alone. Yeah? Parks himself. Because he feels like, I'm not going to fight here. You know what I'm saying? And as obviously, he's not really even interrupting her. He's just trying to have a discussion. And this girl turns it into a beef. You know what I'm saying? And turns it into a wild one. Yeah? Gets up, leaves the room again. Petulant behavior from your toys at the pram instead of actually communicating. And this is somebody who is a child therapist, you know. Yeah? Hey. I'm not saying that you have to be more mature than anybody, but there are certain behaviors in yourself you have to start identifying and start correcting. It cannot be standing that kind of behavior. You understand? And so you end up walking away, and he chases you again to the door, and then you're like, leave me alone, Derek, leave me alone. This is not what you wanted. You wanted him to chase you. Now he's chasing you, you want him to leave you alone. Yeah? And then obviously they get outside, and this proves my point about Katie's behavior and Katie's perception of this man, and that a lot of this problem is on her side. So what happens, they get outside and they're sitting and they're talking, yeah? And he's like saying, what's going on, da-da-da. And she's obviously saying her piece. Now, I can't remember exactly what was even said. All I remember is that she said her piece about something, and he retaliated by saying, "Listen, you don't." She wants him. Yeah, you don't behave like that with me around the girls. You don't behave with that, that emotion. And this started with the letter. Remember this particular energy started with a letter when she found it back home, like saying, "How come you was all emotional about this, that?" And what she doesn't realize is your energy. If they talk about Mecca's not a soft landing place, your energy, Katie, yeah, is showing me that you are not a soft landing space.
And it's way better than you do with me. And you don't actually a loser or a weirdo with everyone else. And you don't actually a loser or a weirdo with everyone else. And you don't actually a loser or a weirdo with everyone else.
Because I'm actually being myself.
You're not allowing for me to be free. You're a cage. You're a prison right now. You are caging me in. This isn't a Samson Delilah. This is a caging in. Whenever I talk to you, I feel like I have to lock myself in. I feel like I have to restrict certain things to me. If I say it, you're gonna cuss. And this is, look, when you're in a relationship like that, you will not survive. You will not survive. It won't last long. So when he retaliated and said, listen, it's because you don't make me feel comfortable, basically. I was like, yeah, there you go. That's the truth. He does not feel comfortable with her. That's why he's not able to fall in love with her. That's why he's not able to be emotional. There's something in him that senses something is not quite 100% right. You understand? Something is not allowing him to fall in. You feel me? And so I just understood, and then obviously then she said something. She said this. You just watch it, and I said, well, if you're saying that, then this again proves the fact that you think this guy's a boy, and it's, and again, if you talk like that, that's what's in your heart. You know what I mean? You're saying what's in your heart, and then you're gonna go, I didn't mean it. No, you meant it. 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 You understand? What you're annoyed is that you got caught. You understand? And I'm not having it. You meant it. You see, you wanted a boy that you can control. Yeah? You wanted a boy that you can control. And then you're going to use the excuse as, I need a man that's going to govern me as I'll move mad. If you will move mad, that's your business. Yeah? If you'll move mad because the man is not going on a hard one, you are the problem. You are the toxic one. You understand? So for me, I wasn't having it. And then obviously we see him later on, him trying to be spontaneous about going here, going there, and I rate that. Do you know what I mean? It won't last long. It won't last long because that's not her problem. Her problem is the fact that, yes, she may not be taking necessarily initiative, but her problem is that she needs control. She's trying to control the narrative, and when you're trying to control the narrative, when someone realizes that they're being controlled in the construct of their own entire life, they're going to flip out. That's as simple as equation as it is. So yeah, guys, make sure you stay locked, stay loaded. What's your thoughts on this? Like, comment down below. Let me know your thoughts, man. There's some real petulant behavior on her behalf, man. See ya.